Yeah, I just sat down on the stool right here and it is got a lot of spider webs underneath it, so wish me luck. Anyway, hey, what is up everybody? How are you guys doing? Thank you for checking out this video. Support for the channel is awesome. Yes, what is going on right now? Well, doesn't it really seem like a pre-game show? Yeah, if you're watching the news and flipping around, everybody's talking about the big deal that's going on. It's mostly focused around the Putin-Trump meeting and stuff like that, but now Zelensky's coming to the United States. There's just a lot going on regarding, well, World War III. Started all the way back with Biden. I mean, nobody even talked about World War III. Once Russia got involved, that narrative is definitely ramped up a lot, whether it's just because it's Russia or there's an actual threat or what's going on. But I think the energy that the world is putting into Trump, Putin, China, and all this is escalating. You just kind of have to sit back and look at it. Look at the big picture over just the media and stuff like that. You have, who is it? Trump was doing tours around with the tariffs. You know, they told us it was all 100% about tariffs and cutting deals and making deals. But he went around to all these NATO countries. He wasn't going to Zimbabwe. He wasn't going to Brazil. He was going to Germany, Switzerland. He was going to European countries. Yeah, there were some, you know, Mexico and stuff like that. He just said, well, you're getting 30% done. I'm not worrying about it. But he was doing tours. He was going around. Zelensky has been doing the same thing. Just all within the last couple months. Zelensky's been hopping country to country within NATO saying, hey, we need the support. You got to keep up with us. And NATO is 100% on board with backing Ukraine against Russia. I mean, let's just say it like it is. Europe is prepared and ready to go to war with Russia. Russia, China, and India have been doing their rounds. They're talking a lot. They're meeting each other a lot. They're going back and forth. NATO meetings, they have been doing emergency NATO meetings around this whole deal. Some with Trump, some without Trump. European leaders, like Starmer, has been going around. Germany, what's his name, Boris or something like that, he's been traveling. Really just, there's a lot of movement. It just really seems like it's a pre-game show to the big event. And everybody knows the big event is coming. Everybody knows that there is a big event. And everybody is getting ready for it. They're getting the media ready for it. They're getting the psychological, how can I say it? The mindset of societies around the world ready for it. The European society, the American society, the Russian society, Chinese, etc. They're getting everybody ready for it. They're preparing us for it. They're preparing for it. And they are telling the rest of the world to get ready for it. And they got ready for it. They listened. They knew. The militaries over in the, I don't know about the UK necessarily, but all around the world, especially in Europe and NATO, Trump came in, stepped in, said, you guys got to step up. They stepped up, gladly stepped up, because they know this main event is coming. It's just weird to see, and it gets more and more of an importance to me the more I see it. I woke up this morning and nothing was supposed to be going on. But there's an emergency flight out of the UK with Starmer coming to the White House to make sure to speak to Trump before Zelensky gets there, to kind of bridge that gap a little bit of maybe some of the meetings that Trump was left out of over for NATO and the UK and the UN and stuff. Well, I don't think he was excluded out of the UN meetings, but I think there was like a G7 meeting that Trump was excluded from. Yeah, just a lot of movement. Just think about it. Think about it and pay attention to what's going on in the news in a little bit different way. Instead of looking at all the details, look at the pieces that are moving around the world and how they're interacting and who is talking. And I've been saying it for a long time. India is a wild card. India is not necessarily our friend. Trump is talking like a little bit of a side note. Trump's been talking a lot like we're going to shift cheap manufacturing out of China and put it into India. And I was saying, yeah, well, India is not our friend. You're just trading the same problem for the same problem. Or you're trading one problem for the same problem. You get what I mean? Yeah, and Russia, Putin came out and basically welcomed India to Team East. India is BRICS. BRICS is one of the strongest movements against the United States that has ever existed. Just my dumb opinion, you know. Nobody really seems to think that there's any sort of threat for BRICS and stuff like that. And there's some smart people I know, and you know, they just think that's all BS. You know, it's just all smoke and mirrors or whatever. A failed attempt from the East to be able to do this. I heard yesterday that they have 40% of the GDP around the world under BRICS. They've almost hit that 50% mark. Yeah, the dollar's still stronger, but you get a big shift of the dollar dropping, BRICS rising. Yeah, well, you know, that's how it happens. But anyway, just kind of look at things in a big picture. Look at things in a little bit of a crazy way of the main, not like the chess pieces moving on the board, but we have multiple chess boards and they're kind of moving around. And I'm saying pay attention to that. Pay attention to what the countries are doing and how they're interacting with other countries. And yeah, it's kind of interesting, but it's like a pre-game. Carry on, Wasp, carry on. All right. Yeah, just kind of pay attention to it. It's kind of interesting to see, and it almost has my nerves worked up a little bit because things are getting a little frantic. Everything is an emergency. Everything has to happen now. Which tells me, well, folks, World War III is probably closer than we think. And it's a little nerve-wracking to flip on the TV every day just to see, yeah, another emergency meeting between Germany, France, and the UK. They had to get together in an underground bunker and talk things out now. It's interesting. It's interesting. So, yeah, anyway, right now, I'm sure Zelensky's doing his rounds around the UK, EU. I get some of that confused over there. We got Starmer coming over here. He's going to be talking with Trump. Then we got Zelensky coming in talking about Trump on how we are going to kill Russians, basically. So yes, this is kind of a big deal. This is kind of, I don't even want to say kind of. This is a sign of the shit going down. Yeah, I don't know. Giving you guys another way to think about things. Just kind of wanted to share how I've been thinking about things, seeing things, looking at the news. I'm always looking at the big picture. Life's about the big picture. I don't care about today. I don't care about tomorrow. I care about my life, right? Anyway, I wanted to share this with you guys. What do you think? Am I crazy for thinking about this way? Or is everybody thinking about it this way? Seems like there's just an excitement that isn't good. Anyway, I'll leave it with that. I will talk to you guys later. Till next time, peace.